The bitter chill of January in Japan, far removed from the humid raw of summer bowl, demands a different kind of exertion. The crack of the bat is replaced by the quiet, internal battle against the cold.
Skeda, for managers in Nippon professional baseball, this off-season period is not merely a time for reflection or scouting. It is a crucial interval for instruction, strategic plotting, and in the deeply traditional heart of Japanese sports, spiritual endurance. For Takahiro Arai, the manager of the Hiroshima Carp, this endurance test takes a form both ancient and intensely personal. Sheda, Manager Arai, now 46, continued a solemn tradition that stretches back 2 decades to 2004, the annual Goma fire ritual at Koyasan, deep within the austere mountains of Wakayama Prefecture.
This was not a standard photo opportunity staged for the cameras. It was the 22nd time Arai had voluntarily submitted himself to this grueling 2-hour session.
The Goma ritual involves battling the terrifying intensity of a roaring, consecrated flame, a stark and punishing demonstration of penitence, purification, and unwavering resolve.
For 2 hours, Arai sat cross-legged, the heat of the fire pushing the limits of human tolerance, the smoke stinging his eyes, focused entirely on the intention behind the suffering. Skedar. The context of this ritual makes its execution fiercely relevant. The Carp finished the 2023 season in a deeply disappointing 5th place, marking their 2nd consecutive year languishing in the ignominious B class. In a league where mediocrity is rarely tolerated, the patience of the notoriously passionate Carp fanbase, a community known for its fierce loyalty and demanding standards, is wearing thin.
Furthermore, the ownership structure is undoubtedly scrutinizing the returns on their investment.
Sheda faced the blistering heat of the roaring pyre. His internal mantra, the raw, defiant statement he later let slip to the assembled press, perfectly encapsulated the weight of the moment. Kuso Mitokyo.
Damn it, watch me.
Singular act of intense spiritual devotion, publicized immediately across the Japanese baseball landscape, did not receive universal praise.
Instead, it immediately drew the sharp, cynical focus of the internet forums, particularly the vocal and often brutal Gboard communities, bastions of modern detachment and instant judgment.
The initial reaction was scathing, dismissing the ritual outright as theatrical performance, a hollow gesture that would never translate into tangible victories or improved pitching statistics.
Sheda, they argue, was performative và misplaced. It's too cold, quipped one user. I only wish I could stand in the corner of that fire room for 10 minutes just to warm up.
The critique quickly grew more pointed, reflecting a profound skepticism toward dedication rooted in anything other than cold, hard analytics. "I'll be eating Häagen-Dazs ice cream and cheering for Arai," wrote another detractor. "But baseball is just leisure. It's an amusement park." The implication is clear. In the modern, results-driven era, spiritual suffering is unnecessary, the effort purely wasted.
Sheda, the skepticism escalated rapidly, fueled by the anonymity of the online space. Arai, your suffering will continue this year, taunted one commentator, predicting failure. Isn't this meaningless?
His commitment is too low.
Sheda. Others categorize the Goma ceremony not as a display of dedication, but as pure PR,
a stage event designed solely to generate positive headlines and provide feel-good content for beat writers, much like rookie players sightseeing during a camp holiday.
They viewed it as a distraction from the fundamental, technical issues plaguing the Carp bullpen and lineup.
The final, brutal judgment, the digital kiss of death, was stark. Arai-san will probably be gone after this year.
Yet to truly understand Manager Arai, one must first recognize his deep history of proving naysayers wrong through sheer, stubborn, indefatigable persistence.
The criticism leveled against the Goma ritual, that suffering doesn't guarantee success, misses the fundamental point of Arai's professional life.
As one commentator noted, highlighting the inherent contradiction in the online scorn, everyone says that if doing something like this could guarantee a win, nobody would struggle.
But Arai-san entered the Meikyukai, the Golden Players Club, despite that very cynicism. Arai's playing career was never defined by natural grace, raw athleticism, or effortless stardom. It was defined by grueling hard work, relentless repetition, and the slow, painful accumulation of necessary statistics.
He hammered away at his graph, year after year, accumulating the 2,000 hits required for baseball immortality.
The very same stubborn internal fire that drove him to complete 2 decades of the punishing Koyasan ritual is the same unyielding engine that propelled him into the record books.
Skeda là they far too fundamental misunderstand Arai's philosophy, the bedrock of his managerial approach. Just spiritual suffering, penitence, and demonstrated commitment are the foundational elements upon which physical, measurable success is eventually built.
But commitment alone, however profound, does not fix a struggling bullpen hoặc a slumping offense. Sheda, the pressure on Arai in the lead-up to the 2024 season is not abstract hoặc metaphysic. Nó là rút mờ trong sự thanh tiến, brutal của đời sống, facing the Carp organization.
The online forums repeatedly mention the increasingly empty stands. Gara-gara, they say, a direct hit to the profitability, reputation, and emotional core of a team once known for its impenetrable fortress atmosphere and passionate sellout crowds.
The absence of results means the crowds diminish, and the hit on the manager rises far above the flames of the ritual fire. Sheda, if the Goma is merely a symbolic gesture, what is the precise message Arai is attempting to broadcast to the young players looking to him for direction?
It is not about winning through magic or divine intervention. It is about establishing the psychological burden of leadership and the necessary pain of striving for excellence.
Arai is intentionally placing himself in the most uncomfortable, physically challenging position possible to demonstrate that he, the manager and the leader, is willing to endure more pain than anyone else on the roster to achieve success.
He is signaling to the young players and rookies that the 2024 campaign will be a grind, a struggle against immense external pressure and internal doubt.
He is validating the hardship they will inevitably face during the relentless summer months, telling them through actions, not just words, I have already suffered, so you must too.
Sheda, Pin Online can criticize the optics. They can mock the efficacy of spiritual training in a modern athletic context, and they can predict Arai's imminent dismissal.
Sheda, it's absolutely correct that no amount of devotion guarantees a win in Game 1 of the season.
But in their rush to judgment, they missed the true potent power of the act. Arai is not performing the ritual for the gods, or even for the reporters capturing the photos.
He is doing it first and foremost for himself, and secondly, for the 25 men he is tasked with leading.
It is a psychological priming ritual for war.
The stakes could not be higher.
Shedda is the carp rise dramatically out of the B-class mire and contend genuinely in the 2024 season. The Koyasan fire will be remembered as the exact moment the comeback truly ignited, a legendary act of managerial dedication and conviction.
It will define Arai's legacy as a leader who leads from the front, enduring the greatest pain.
But if the carp fail again, if the stands remain empty and the losses mount, that 2 hours spent facing the ancient flames will forever be cast as a tragically futile display of wasted effort, confirming the cynical predictions of the internet masses.
Arai's challenge now is immediate and immense. He must take that internal heat, that raw, defiant conviction encapsulated in "damn it, watch me," and translate it into calculated, winning baseball.
The spiritual preparation is complete. The judgment now belongs entirely to the unforgiving diamond.